Chapter 419. The love ships are setting sail. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lucien had to fly a mile away from Daisy for her to start calming down. For her, the problem is not that they have seen each other's bodies naked, but the fact that everything with him is fascinating and crazy, which makes her feel lively like never and wonder if she will be able to have a normal life alongside her husband after that. You can do this, Daisy. She speaks to herself. You are not a little girl anymore, and you can contain such feelings. You don't want an exciting life with a devil but a peaceful life with a simple man. She tries to convince herself of those words while continuing to take a bath. But while she washes her body, she can't stop thinking about Lucien's naked body, especially his big member. And when she realizes it, she's touching her most private part while that image is lived in her mind. Daisy gets so embarrassed, guilty, horny. That mix of chaotic feelings drives her crazy. Lucien. You're stupid devil. She shouts as she explodes that lake and destroys all the trees within a radius of dozens of meters. He clearly hears the echo of her furious cry, which reaches that fox village, making Eve wonder what Lucien did to deserve that. A few minutes later, Lucien sees Daisy flying towards the village and approaches her. Daisy. Wait for me. She stops in the air and looks at him with a fake upset expression, but, in fact, she is angry with her own feelings. Just say what you want. Oh. He friendly smiles as he approaches her. Daisy's body does not feel any aversion to his, or rather, she cannot help but be attracted to him. Daisy's heart starts to beat faster while she gets very nervous and excited at the same time. What is he going to do? Is it something lewd? I can't let this go on. But how am I going to say no if he tries something? Damn, why does it look so hard? She panics as she sees Lucien's hand approaching her face. She can imagine him caressing her face, then her neck before kissing her passionately. Her lips can already feel the touch of his while her tongue starts to move on its own. So many things happen in Daisy's mind, and she closes her eyes, not knowing what to do. But after several seconds, nothing happens, which leaves her confused. Daisy waits until a minute has passed. Then she opens her eyes and sees Lucien, 2 meters away from her, still smiling as he holds a leaf in his hand. It was in your hair. I just wanted to help you. He speaks in a clearly regretful tone. Help you. Those words echo in Daisy's mind as she feels really bad for thinking that Lucien wants to take advantage of her while all he's been doing is helping her. Lucien can see that he messed up with her feelings, but he doesn't regret the way he is acting with her. He is acting normally with Daisy because he thinks this is the most respectful way to treat her, either to make it clear that he wants to take care of her and because he is completely honest to her as to how he is. Still, he demonstrates that he understands her side. I didn't want to make you uncomfortable. Daisy approaches him and takes the leaf from his hands while smiling with an embarrassed expression. I'm not uncomfortable. Thank you, I'm glad. He smiles at her, unaware that his smile is becoming her favorite drug. I would be despondent if you run away because of how I act. I would never do that. She quickly responds. Not because you helped me so much, but because I respect who you are and what you have to do. As he continues to smile, she is even more embarrassed, wishing the world would swallow her up. Is that? I just don't. We don't need to talk about it. He suggests. Let's pretend that embarrassed event never existed, okay? Daisy looks him in the eye while keeping her thoughts just for her. Could you really forget that you saw me naked? I know I won't be able to forget your see. Yes, that will be the best. She tries to smile, but he can see that she is not honest, at least not with her body. Let's go back. He flies towards the village before he can't resist hugging her. Daisy looks at Lucien's back and feels something she has never felt before. She feels protected. Then she smiles and flies after him. As they fly back to the village, he asks. How are you feeling today? I feel great. My power seems to have increased even more, but I only drank a little squirrel blood. She replies. Your body needs a few days to transform all the demonic energy that Sophia has given you into your own power. Maybe you will advance another layer until there. He explains. Daisy's red eyes sparkle with gratitude and expectation. I will never be able to repay what you and she did for me. Lucien smiles at her. There is no need for retribution for something we do for the 1W. Family, right? Daisy finishes Lucien's sentence even though he was going to say something else. You already made that clear, and I like that way of thinking a lot. We are really a family now. Good. He comments as they continue to fly. After a few seconds, he speaks again. About what I talked earlier. I need you to make floating ships for me to take my troops to our likely battlefield. I want to be prepared when the angels arrive. Daisy quickly nods, but she is also curious. Of course I can do that, but I thought Rose and your other wives could do that easily, too. Marie and Lena seem to be very fond of showing their skills. The girls need a break after yesterday. We spend all day foo. You know. He explains. She can't help but blush. Daisy cannot even imitate how a normal person deals with a harem, but she is sure that her husband could not give pleasure to many women simultaneously as he is not really good in bed. However, she is sure that things with Lucien must be very crazy. The whole day. All of them. And they are the ones who need rest. What the hell? As Daisy starts to think about things she shouldn't do, and the image of Lucien's cock comes up vividly in her mind, she tries to focus on other things. How is Rose now? Were you too hard on her? She asks. She likes to do it hard. Lucien replies without thinking and quickly regrets it. I mean, she is now lying on our bed with a beautiful and satisfied smile. My life mana restores their vigor, but their bodies need time to deal with the great amount of demonic energy I have given them. Oh. I see. She's getting stronger. I'm happy. Daisy stammers as she blushes even more. She is really happy for Rose, but if envy were beside her now, she would be laughing while delighting in that growing jealousy. That brat. Does she like to do it hard? How can she do so many things that I have never done? How is it to do it hard? Why doesn't Heike do it hard on me? What the hell am I thinking? Daisy punches her head when she starts thinking about Lucien's cock again. Are you okay? Lucien is concerned when she realizes that Daisy's pale face is now completely red. Yeah. She quickly responds. I can make the ships whenever you want. He nods. I would like you to do them right now. My troops are finishing cleaning up that courtyard, and I'm just going to say goodbye to Anne's parents. Oh, I would like to ask you for something else. He explains. I need you to make 11 big ships that have a huge main room with space for a big bed and a big pool. I will start training my troops as soon as possible. Daisy is confused at first but quickly understands what kind of training he is talking about. She is not embarrassed to think of him fucking his troops because that just looks like hard working. She understands that she has to do that to make his whole family stronger, which generates more protection for her daughter, who now cannot receive more love from him because her body needs to rest. I think I've said something like this before, but... Daisy looks at Lucien with a loving and appreciative expression. I admire you. You more than anyone else should be resting now, but you are willing to work non-stop for the sake of your family. She continues. You ignore your needs and continue to do your best so that your wives can now be lying on your bed with beautiful and satisfied smiles. And I am happy that my daughter is one of them. Lucien and Daisy stop in the air as they have already arrived above that courtyard. He looks at her with a loving expression and caresses her face. You don't have to be my wife to me to want to take care of you like that. I know. She caresses his hand on her face while nothing worries her now. When being next to Lucien, it is difficult to worry about anything. He again feels that he will lose control of his desires and kiss Daisy, so he points to where Eve is. Talk to Eve and start making the ships, I'll be back in a few minutes. Daisy makes a cute sound of agreement as she watches Lucien fly towards Lore's house. Then she lands in front of Eve and smiles when she sees that Helena and Donna are drooling on her thighs. Morning, Eve. Morning, Daisy. Eve smiles at her. You and Lucy seem to be getting along. Daisy smiles at her. Yeah, he's a great man. You really raised him well. Very well. Although Lucien's wives are tired and need to rest more, it doesn't hurt for them to leave the purple world for a few minutes to say goodbye to Lore and Clovis. They end up talking for half an hour because all the girls thank Lore many times for the wonderful ceremony. Lucien is also very fond of talking to Clovis and hopes to return to Argerim in the future to visit them. After an emotional goodbye and Lore, Anne, and Elsie dropped some tears of happiness, the girls returned to the purple world, and Lore accompanied Lucien to the door with Clovis. Our humble and tiny house is always open for you and your whole family, my son, Clovis speaks while hugging Lucien. A home where we are welcome will always be great. He responds. So Lore hugs Lucien too. Come to see us whenever you can, and I hope you will be able to rescue your mother soon. I would love to meet her. I will be sure to bring my mom here, you will be great friends. He responds. Lore makes a thoughtful expression. Lucien. About what I told you. I didn't want to force any responsibility on you. I just wanted you to know more about our family. He smiles with a determined expression. Don't worry about that, mother.in.law. I will help Anne and Else to become very powerful so that no one can harm them. Also, together, we will find out what happened to Adeline and avenge your ancestors. Be careful. She smiles back at him while she is sure he can do that. Now we have to go. Lucien starts flapping his wings while waving to Lore and Clovis. I will send messengers to report our situation frequently. Thank you, son, Clovis responds. Always take care of Anne and Elsie. Lore repeats. This is my main purpose. Lucien smiles before flying towards the giant stone ships above the village. Chapter 420. The Arrogant Queen and the Devil. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Author's note. I'm putting this little note here because my LK chapters easily slip out of WN, having nothing to do with me, so I want to make the future of it clear for all my readers. It seems that some people still don't understand the situation of this novel. I will never abandon LK and I will take it to the very far end, but as it is not contracted by, I don't earn anything here. So that's why I'm going to focus on my new novel, Vampire King's Harem, for a while, dedicating myself entirely to it. The faster my new novel gets contracted by WN, if it happens, of course, the faster I'll find a balance between writing both. For now, I'll keep posting the LK chapters one have in stock, but if you want to see daily chapters from this until the end, helping me grow my new novel is the only way. But of course, this is not my request or any requirement, I'm just making it clear how works the future of LK and any other novels of mine. Thanks for understanding, and have fun with the chapter. Underscore 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 that master. There. Master. Nga. I love it. More. I want it more, master. Ah. Yeah, master. Right there in my ass. Ah. Oh. Master. So good. Love you. Mast. Naya hhhhh. As the giant stone ships float towards the great forest, lewd moans echo through the skies, leaving even the birds embarrassed. After dividing his troops into groups of a little over 200 girls, Lucien started going from ship to ship, giving them his hard training, and of course, they love him more and more for that. While Lucien takes care of a group, his other troops excitedly wait as they try to contain their eagerness with their own fingers, imagining their beloved master's cock inside them. Yet, the situation is not good for some women. Not Lucien's wives, as they are still sleeping in the purple world, having their desires satisfied. But for Daisy, Eve, Donna, and even Pride and Wrath, those moans are somewhat torturous. They cannot stop listening to them due to their so good senses, and they cannot prevent their minds from imagining what kind of pleasure makes those women moan so loudly. Why are they so loud? Donna asks. She and the other girls are on a ship without troops because they don't want to be near Lucien while he does such hard training. Think of it as normal training noises, like when you swing a heavy sword hard and make gasping sounds, Eve suggests. Pride materializes her body and makes a naturally arrogant expression. They are certainly swinging a heavy sword right now. Can we go at least an hour without talking about his cock? Daisy asks while her face is already very flushed. Eve, Donna, and Helena also flush as Wrath materializes her body and smiles provocatively at the mature vampire. Why? Does that make you angry? It is evident that Wrath wants to provoke Daisy to generate demonic energy by making her angry. However, while Daisy gets even more flushed, Pride starts laughing at her sister. You can't be that stupid, right? Look at her. Does she look flushed with anger? Pride asks Wrath in an even more arrogant tone. Wrath shakes her head with a sad expression. You're right. She just wants his cock like everyone else. ID. IN. IJ. Daisy can't say those words. I'm married, okay. The other girls start laughing at the mature vampire's embarrassed expression. Even Helena seems to start having fun for the first time in such a long time. While the girls laugh, they are more relaxed and don't realize that the moaning has stopped, so a thud sound surprises them. Hello there, what are you girls talking about? Lucien lands on that ship and walks over to the table where the girls are to get a glass of wine. Daisy quickly turns her flushed face as she stutters. That's nothing. Lucien begins to fill his glass with apple wine that Clovis gave him. Then he smiles at Donna and Helena. Oh, are you awake now? I thought you were going to sleep forever and drool over Eve's whole body. Helena also turns her flushed face away while Donna looks at him with an upset expression. We didn't drool. Her tone sounds really angry, which makes Lucien step back and make a sorry expression. Okay, sorry. I just made a joke. Donna makes a big effort to keep looking him in the eye. The joke is not the problem. But. Lucy, could you? Please. Stop showing me your fucking big dick. Only at that moment does Lucien realize that he is still naked, so he quickly materializes his underwear. Oh, my bad. I was so focused on the training. And. I just didn't realize it. Eve starts to laugh. Ha ha ha. You really don't like wearing clothes anymore, don't you, Lucy? Lucien smiles at her. I'll pay more attention to that. Daisy still doesn't look at him for fear of not being able to move her eyes off him again. We understand that you have a lot to worry about and are always working so hard, but lust could at least warn you about things like that. Lust materializes her body and makes an expression of denial. Why would I do that? Seeing his naked body all the time is so pleasurable. It also makes other women jealous, anger in his enemies, pride in his wives. What the hell is this conversation? Donna punches the table while looking at the huge volume in Lucien's underwear. Did you come here just to provoke us? Of course not. He quickly responds. Then he smiles at Pride. I want you and Eve to use your aura on the troops. Pride looks Lucien in the eye as she slowly walks over to him. Then she approaches their faces so close that their noses almost touch. Is that an order, boy? She arrogantly asks. There are three main types of arrogant people. Those who are very stupid and weak but overestimate their abilities and therefore end up being arrogant. Those are the worst ones. There are also those who are weak and stupid but have strong people who protect them for various reasons such as family love, obligations, or personal ambitions. And finally, those who are very smart and powerful enough to be arrogant on their own. But now, Lucien thinks that there is another type of arrogance, and that is pride. Her arrogance is by no means irritating to him but somehow sexy. That is who she is, her true nature, and he likes her that way very much. No. I'm talking to you about things that will benefit our entire group. He speaks slowly while his lips don't touch hers for a few millimeters. Pride also likes Lucien very much the way he is. In any case, he shows no fear and does not down his natural arrogance without being disrespectful to her. A part of her doesn't stop thinking about how things would be if he were her host instead of Eve. I see. You are not stupid after all. She also speaks slowly without moving an inch away from him. Lucien's lips curve into a provocative and extremely attractive smile. However, if I ever give you an order, I'm sure you will obey. Ha 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 ha. She starts to laugh, very arrogantly, needless to say. Due to their noses being so close, Pride's breath enters Lucien's nose and starts to drive him crazy. Even her scent feels so imposing and powerful, yet very feminine and pleasant. His mouth starts to salivate while he wonders how her mouth tastes. He really wants to kiss her now, but that would mean that he lost, that he is weak and tried to beg for her affection. He can't do that until she can't wait any longer for him to do that. Lucien slowly strokes Pride's chin, and she doesn't feel any aversion to his touch. Then he continues to speak slowly. So. Will you help me with that? She still doesn't move away from him. It is already a battle where their egos are facing each other, and none of them can back down or appear any weak. Why do you need my aura on them right now? She slowly asks, and he can see her blue-ebony long tongue begging him to dominate her. Your demonic energy in the bodies of Elsie and Galena allowed me to create a powerful mix of energies and make them stronger faster. He explains, and she can also see his red tongue, eager to invade her mouth. Pride doesn't notice, but she starts to lick her own lips from inside while her body gets more and more excited by that strange game. Is that the best way to do it? He teasingly smiles. I'm sure that if you join us, the process will be much more effective. Ha 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 ha. She starts to laugh again, and Lucien has to use all his will not to shut her up with his mouth. You really want this queen in your bed, don't you? I'm not sure if we have the same idea of how much really want exactly means. Lucien's answer is not a denial as he really wants to fuck Pride, but he also doesn't give her the answer she wants. Pride brings her face even closer to his, and their noses really touch. If I ever agree to fuck you, you will never want to fuck anyone else again, and that would be a problem for our group. Those words make his desire to conquer Pride even greater. He never wants to break her arrogance, but he wants her to be proud to be his wives, along with his other lovers. They just remain silent and looking each other in the eye as their noses keep touching. Their bodies know of their desires, but their egos will still not allow anything else to happen now, and a part of both, a very deep part, is sad because of that. The atmosphere created between Lucien and Pride is so incredible and powerful that it captivates everyone around. The other girls even feel overwhelmed by their dense arrogance that seems to mix to crush everyone else. Everyone wonders how it will be when they finally have sex. It is impossible to know if they are going to start fighting or kissing, but it is evident that none of them can step back now. Then Eve quickly approaches them and moves their bodies away. We can do it, right, Pride? Making the troops stronger is exactly what we need for future battles against large armies. Even as Eve moves Lucian and Pride away, their eyes remain fixed on each other. It seems that if they look away, they will lose a life and death combat, and everything that is most loved for them will be destroyed. But they are just measuring the limits of their arrogance, and both are the same. Sure. This is easy for us. Pride responds while still looking into Lucian's eyes. Good. Lucian comments and then looks away as he moves toward the table to refill his glass of wine again. Pride thought she would feel good as soon as Lucian stepped back, but all she feels now that he's not looking at her is a strange sensation of loss, which is nothing like the proud feeling she had when he was just looking only at her. As Lucian fills his glass with wine, he smiles. Oh, some girls are awake. They are going to bring us breakfast. Then he opens the Purple World portal, and after a moment, a girl jumps off that and hugs Lucian tightly. It's the cute little vampire, and Daisy smiles to see how happy her daughter is. Morning, hubby. Rose speaks as she continues to hug him. Then she looks him in the eye with a flushed and lewd expression. Kiss. Wasting no time, Lucian kisses Rose passionately. Everyone can see drops of blood dripping from their lips as the little vampire moans. Morning, sweetheart. He speaks in a very loving tone, which makes any girl's heart warmer. Then other girls leave the portal. Angela and Arya carry trays with lots of food while Cassidy smiles lovingly at Lucian. I also want a good morning kiss. He releases Rose and hugs Cassidy by the waist before starting to kiss her lips many times. My beautiful warrior queen deserves many more than just one good morning kiss. Seeing how Lucian treats his wives, the others have different feelings. Eve and Donna are happy that he is being himself now, while Daisy wonders what it's like to get a good morning kiss from him. Meanwhile, Pride maintains the same arrogant expression as always. And how many kisses does this queen deserve? No less than all of them, for sure. Chapter 421. The troops love hard training. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. After Eve and Pride used their aura to strengthen Lucian's troops, he returned to training with them. Although it didn't make them even close to being with the same amount of demonic energy as Elsie and Galena, it did the strengthening process twice effectively. Lust and envy's demonic energies work very well on all Lucian girls, but Pride's is no less effective. All his girls are very proud to have Lucian as their husband or master, so the mix of energies with Pride's energy works perfectly well in his troops as well. While Lucian works all the time, strengthening his troops, his other girls enjoy the travel. Daisy doesn't move the stone ships too fast, but they still arrive in the Great Forest that same day. She keeps the ships floating above the place where Lucian's group fought angels twice, as the other angels are almost certain to go there as well. They prepared the ships with many furniture, so staying in on them is better than making a camp on the ground, and they also have a nice view from the sky. Lucian did not stop for a moment from having sex with his troops, and after a day, more than half of them had not even come close to him yet. In total, it took 3 days, and Lucian only stopped for a few seconds to drink water and eat some cookies that Eve brought him. The angels did not arrive in those 3 days because the distance between Chia, the angelic world, and Argerim is too long, so even after the portal is made, it takes at least 3 days to get there. With 1 day having 1,440 minutes and 3 having 4,320 minutes, his troops didn't have even 1% of the treatment his wives have every day in the Purple World. Yet, Lucian managed to get all his troops to advance a layer inside the mortal realm. Most of them went to the second layer, while the best among them went to the third. He did that by giving each of them at least 1 minute of penetration, ending with a deep cum shot inside their pussies. The rest of the time was used for blowjobs, where at least 3 girls sucked and licked his cock while other girls could touch, kiss, and lick his whole body. Finally, he still gave great cum shots that covered the bodies of a few girls with his hot and thick special milk. Neola passed him a list of the most dedicated and hard-working troops, so Lucien gave them extra special milk to drink. And last but not least, he took good care of Lana, the spy who followed Cassidy's ex-husband. He had promised her that he would give her a good reward and spent an entire hour with her after taking care of his troops. That was her official entrance to his troops, and the cute Lana has no desire to get away from him. Because Lucien is now in the mortal realm, just that hour receiving all his love was enough to make her go straight to the second layer of the mortal realm. They had to stop because her body would break if she received more demonic energy. Oh. This is so good. Lucien comments as Eve massages his shoulders. Eve shakes her head with an expression of disapproval. 3 days, Lucy. You spend 3 days having non-stop sex. You shouldn't work so hard alone. It's alright. I don't mind doing that for a month if necessary. He responds and then looks at his wives. But I don't like to have gone so long without paying attention to my lovers. All Lucien's wives look at him with loving and excited expressions. Their bodies are frustrated because although 3 days is not so long, being without his touch felt like an eternity. It would be nice if you could take the troops to the purple world. Pride comments. Lust materializes her body and looks at Pride with an upset expression. His soul is already at the limit because he has soul contracts with so many women. I can't think of anyone but Immortal Realm high dragons having so many people inside their soul at the same time. He's a dragon too. So his soul has to be strong. Wrath comments. Yeah. Lust nods. I believe that when he reaches the Immortal Realm or maybe a little earlier, he will be able to have all his troops in the purple world. Is there no way to do this faster? Lucien asks. At this point, Sloth materializes her body while Sophia is waking up on her floating pillow. I'm sure there are other methods to improve the power of the soul, especially that of a dragon. However, we don't have the resources and knowledge necessary for that now. I believe that only another dragon can help us with that. Pride comments. Let's think about it when we find another dragon, Lucien speaks. Now we have to focus on the angels. Why are they taking so long? Lust quickly responds. They must be bringing a huge army. But in any case, they must be almost arriving here. We have to be prepared for the fight. Donna comments as she holds her great red axe. Yeah. Lucien turns to smile at Donna, but then Sophia jumps on him and hugs him tightly like a baby sloth hugging her mom and rubs her face on his. Morning. She says as she starts to kiss his face. Amelia rolls her eyes. We are in the middle of the day. Sophia ignores everyone around them and continues to hug and kiss him. Lucien. I want you to pamper me a lot now. Hey. Amelia makes an upset expression. You slept for 3 whole days while I was training my swords and teleport skills so hard. If anyone deserves to be pampered now, it's me. She jumps on Lucien too and begins to fight Sophia for his attention. He sighs as breasts hit his face. Such spoiled girls. The other girls start laughing at Lucien's situation, but he knows that his wives need attention. All of his troops are already full of his demonic energy, so he can now focus on his wives now and use the purple world. Lucien takes his wives to the purple world and starts having sex with Galena as she next goes back to Eve's side to be able to warn him if the angels arrive, so he is relaxed with his girls. After he and his girls go to the purple world, the other girls feel lonely while the ship that was just to go very lively seems so empty. He never stops, doesn't he? Donna comments. Eve smiles. But he seems to be having fun like that. Helena rolls her eyes. I think he feels bad when his cock is not inside a woman. So are we going to talk about his cock again? Daisy asks, clearly uncomfortable with that subject. Pride looks at her with a funny expression. We can talk about other things. What's in your mind now? Dot. The mature vampire is silent while the other girls know what she is thinking because they are also thinking about the same thing. While Lucien and his wives enjoy themselves in the purple world, his troops are prepared for combat. Rebecca improved their armor and weapons, as well as from that his wives. After 2 hours, what was almost 6 hours in the purple world, Pride looks at the sky with a thoughtful expression. They are coming. She thinks aloud as she feels the aura of the approaching angels, but it is still not possible to see anything in the sky. Galena quickly warns Lucien, and he begins to help his wives prepare for combat. Less than a minute later, the purple world portal opens, and his wives start to come out of it. Wearing beautiful black armor and holding their weapons, they look as powerful as confident. Also, it is still possible to see their flushed expressions because they were having sex just ago. There's something on your cheek, Daisy speaks as she extends her hand to wipe a white thing on Rose's face. But she stops when she realizes what it is. The little vampire quickly licks that liquid she loves so much and makes a felicitous expression. The girls start laughing at Daisy while she doesn't know if she's more embarrassed or curious about how that tastes. She has never been interested in food, but that seems to be different from anything else. Meanwhile, Lucien approaches Pride and looks at the sky. They are here. She speaks, and a light begins to shine in the sky. That glow gets bigger and bigger as it gets closer to Argerim. Soon Lucien and his group can see that it is a huge magic circle as it becomes clear in the sky. The magic circle quickly reaches the ground, and dozens of figures start to emerge from that light. Part of them are wingless angels, while others have wings and begin to fly around the area, creating a protective barrier. The portal is big and slow, we have to attack now, Envy suggests. We are not going to make a sneak attack. Pride quickly responds. Envy looks at Lucien, ignoring the words of Pride, who also looks at him. He makes a thoughtful expression. A sneak attack could be effective, but it is dangerous. Then he looks at Helena. Also, we don't know if Alexa is with them. We are not going to attack until we know who our enemies are. Then we will attack head-on and crush them because we are superior. Pride speaks because she doesn't want Lucien to appear to be the only one in charge. Sure. He smiles at Pride, and she is happy that he doesn't want to do things the way Envy wants. He tells Daisy to take the troops' ships to the ground, a mile away from the Angel's portal, while his ship is in front of the barrier, which is about half a mile away. So they keep watching the angels come out of that light. Hundreds of wingless angels quickly get into formation in that large area where trees have been destroyed in the last battles. Their numbers quickly pass 5,000 and continue to increase. Most of those angels are in the mortal realm peak while the winged angels, those above the earth realm, fly around the barrier. Lucien already counts about 200 winged angels, but their numbers are also increasing. Amazing. With a portal like this, we could take all our troops to our world. He thinks out loud. Such a portal requires an immense amount of resources. Sloth comments. Lust nods. This is a powerful group. They must have really strong leaders. Still, we are. Lucien and Pride start talking together and then stop when they realize that. He smiles, and she continues. Going to smash them. Because we're fucking superior. He completes. The portal light gets even brighter, and then 5 angels fly out that. All those angels wear bright armor, but those of the winged angels are more impressive than those of the wingless angels, and the armor of those 5 is even more impressive, especially that of the young male angel, who appears to be their leader. Ha 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 ha. Pride starts to laugh. That boy seems to be their leader, but he is still in the early stages of the sky realm. But the problem is the other 4 angels. Sloth comments. They are in the sky realm peak. Lust explains. Most of Lucien's group gets tense when they hear Lust's words, but his expression is the same as that of Pride, that is, they seem arrogant and confident as always. Meanwhile, Donna's expression is the same as Wrath's. Both of them are very excited. Chapter 422. A Real Man in Action. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. The angel with the brightest armor is obviously Agapius. He is still upset about having to come personally to an inferior world. Still, after the conversation he had with Alexa, he is determined to leave everything resolved before she arrives. As soon as he leaves the portal, the first thing he sees is a floating ship in front of the barrier. He quickly notices some demons on that ship. Although he hates demons, like most angels, he can't deny that lust, envy, and sloth are really beautiful women, while he doesn't like the peculiar appearance of wrath and pride. Still, those demons look dangerous, and Agapius wants to kill them as quickly as possible, unlike the beautiful women with them. Of course, he sees Lucien's wives as subspecies, but he would be happy to have them as sex slaves before breaking them. He flaps his wings slowly and flies toward the barrier. The four winged angels behind him are not from the Corvus house but from the Crassus house, that is, they were sent by Alexa to help Agapius, so they follow him. As he flies, one of the angels behind him, a female woman, whispers in his ear the power level of Lucien's troops and group, making him totally confident of easily smashing them. As soon as he reaches the edge of the barrier, about 200 meters from Lucien's ship, he looks at them with an arrogant expression. "Who's your leader? Just say your last words before you die." Lucien speaks in such a relaxed manner. Agapius clenches his fists in anger. He hates being disrespected by other angels, let alone demons and other races. He whispers to the angels beside him. "Bring that guy alive for me, he deserves to suffer a lot for such boldness." "Yes, General." That female angel quickly responds as she looks at Lucien with an excited expression. Anyone can see that she wants to play with him before anything. So Agapius ignores Lucien and keeps looking at the women around him, especially at Eve and Pride, as they are the people with the highest power level in the group. "Don't you really have no one to speak for you? Demons are really anarchists without any leadership skills." He speaks mockingly. Lucien cannot deny that he is a little sad that Agapius did not accept him as leader of his group, but before he says anything else, Pride speaks words that surprise him. "He spoke to you, but you don't seem to have heard." Pride smiles arrogantly. "Besides being deaf, are you also blind? Also, look at yourself, those who follow you are even more idiots than you, and your people are the only ones without leadership here. After all, you are slaves of another race." "Bitch!" Agapius screams in his mind as Pride's sharp words pierced the ego of him and all the other angels. However, they cannot deny they are servants of the gods, making them feel even worse. He does not want to appear weak and pathetic in front of his troops, especially because it is the first time he leads them, and as Pride seems to be very arrogant and smart, Agapius tries to make fun of someone else. "So many beautiful and talented women. You can't want me to believe that this stupid boy is really your leader, right? That would be equal to give the dogs what is holy." He smiles at Lucien's wives. Lucien again does not like Agapius' words, but instead of worrying about him, he is more interested in what Pride will say next. Then he looks at her with a teasing smile. Pride doesn't like the way Lucien smiles at her, or rather, she hates the fact that she likes his smile so much. She doesn't want to appear to respect him that much, but she realizes that seeing someone mocking him makes her as furious as if it was herself being mocked. Then she looks at Agapius with a proud expression. "All these women you see belong only one man, the one you just called a boy, and they are proud to belong to him. Also, when he is making you eat your own guts, I will be on his side, laughing at how you are going to shit yourself." Her words make Lucien and all his women laugh. "Why you?" Agapius is more furious than ever, while all his troops are more ashamed than ever. They want to dig a hole to hide and not see that pathetic scene. "You bitches. You don't know how a real man looks like. As soon as I slay this pretty face, I'll fuck you until you understand what a real man is." Agapius begins to try to insult Lucian in his group, but in fact, he looks like a spoiled child having a tantrum after getting the first scolding of his life. While the Angels' army tries not to laugh at their own leader, Lucian's troops are very angry for him insulting their beloved master. However, he is more focused on the battle while those childish insults mean nothing to him. Taking advantage of the time that Agapius is trying new insults, Lucian begins to plan with his wives. Daisy, can you deal with one of those Sky Realm angels? She makes a thoughtful expression. They are 5 realms above me, but I feel so powerful now. I'm not sure I can win, but I won't be defeated easily. I trust you. He smiles at her. Also, my girls who can fly will help you. Then Lucian looks at Eve. Big sis, I need you and Pride to deal with one of them and get the other down to the ground so that Donna and Amelia to kill him. They are very strong. I will need to use my ability. Eve speaks in a slightly concerned tone. Lucian approaches her and takes her hand. Don't worry about it. You can use your ability as much as you need because Sophia and I can heal you. Eve smiles at Lucian as she feels really confident by fighting alongside him and their sisters. So I'm going to take 2 of them to the ground. So I kill one. Pride speaks. And us the other. Donna, Amelia, Wrath, and Envy speak together. Lucian nods. Lust and I will kill the 4th Sky Realm angel. Then he looks at his other wives. There are over 200 angels of the Earth realm. They will try to help their leaders and troops, so I need you to kill as many of them as possible. I know they are a realm above you, but Cassidy smiles and speaks for them all. Trust us, hubby. Pride's aura makes us stronger, but it's your love inside us that makes us really powerful. Angela completes. Lucian smiles lovingly at his wives. Even in front of a powerful army, they fear nothing. He is about to continue giving orders to his girls, but then he feels that something is wrong. He looks at Eve and Pride. Oh, I forgot that we are a group. Do you have a better plan or any comments about my plan? Sounds good to me. Eve smiles. Let's do it your way this time. Pride comments. Nice. He smiles at them and then looks at Angela, Marie, and Lena. You take the other girls to the ground and help them fight the winged angels. Rose and Maggie, you lead the mage troops to defend the other troops from magic attacks. And the others, do your best, but ask for help if there is any problem. Yes, hubby. His wives quickly respond while they are excited to fight and prove how stronger they are. My bow is thirsty for angel blood. Neola comments while holding Lucian's golden bow. Everyone in Lucian's group seems very excited to fight, but one person seems really concerned. Helena keeps looking everywhere, clearly looking for someone in the group of angels. Atticus. Where are you? She thinks as she keeps looking. After seeing a silver raven in the armor of Agapius and his soldiers, she quickly recognized them as angels of the Corvus house. While Angela, Marie, Lena, and Angela take the other girls to the ground, those who can fly remain on the floating ship. Sophia can use life mana to float, but she mainly uses her magic pillow for that. Lucian's other sisters also remain with him, waiting to act together with Eve and Pride. Donna and Amelia cannot fly, but Wrath and Envy can fly carrying them, or they can just jump from that distance without any problems. Is he still talking nonsense? Lucian asks as he looks at Agapius, and he is still insulting them. Wrath rolls her eyes. I don't understand why people like to do a scene before battles. It is a waste of time. Enough with this shit, Lucian speaks and flaps his wings, flying towards Agapius. He quickly arrives in front of the barrier, shocking Agapius, and all the other angels as they don't understand how he can fly so fast. By seeing Lucian closer, the angels are even more surprised at how handsome he is. The female angels, especially that of the Sky Realm, cannot help but get excited even though he is clearly a demon. The male angels, especially Agapius, are even more furious and jealous. Son of a bitch. I'm going to break you and make you watch me fuck your women. Agapius grits his teeth in anger. Jealousy is a powerful feeling, and Amelia and Envy love that amount of demonic energy they are creating now. Lucian sighs. Your insults mean nothing. My women suck my dick, and it is my dick that they will continue to suck. Now, if you have something against that, get out of that barrier and fight me. His words sound so cool to his wives and troops. All his women, sisters, and the Sins smile as they see the confused and upset expression of the angels. I can't get enough of him. Pride thinks out loud and gets strange looks from Wrath and Eve. All the angels are mad at Lucian, but they are angrier with Agapius for just talking shit and doing nothing. The fact that their leader looks so pathetic makes them all look pathetic as well. YY.U. Agapius does not know what to say while he is angrier than ever. Lucian smiles provocatively and then does something that shocks everyone. He dematerializes his armor, leaving only his underwear while holding the ghost lady. Then he opens his arms and looks at Agapius. I'm here, waiting for you to show me what a real man is. Wow. Lucian's actions are so bold and arrogant that his troops are thrilled while even the angels begin to admire him. They never saw an Earth Realm person, especially from the early stages, stand in front of 5 Sky Realm enemies, especially from the late stages, and be so brave and bold. The angels cannot but think that Lucian is the worst kind of arrogant person, those who are too stupid to understand their own limitations. But Lucian's group knows that he has the power to be so arrogant. In fact, his daring actions make them horny. Even Pride feels sensations she didn't know until now, especially the strange wetness between her legs. Agapius is really mad now. Lucian mocked him on a surreal level, and he can't think of anything that could erase his shame. He takes a long silver sword and prepares to cross the barrier and fight Lucian. Defeating someone from the Earth Realm will be easy. But he can't move, more out of fear than anger. That barrier is incredibly powerful, and nothing can get through it easily, but as soon as something gets out of it, it cannot go back. Put the barrier down, so Agapius fears that something will happen to him while he is outside the barrier. Then he points his sword at Lucian and orders the Sky Realm angels beside him. Cut off his legs. Those 3 male Sky Realm angels make disappointed expressions, just like most other angels, but the female Sky Realm angel smiles excitedly. Lucian shakes his head, also with a disappointed expression. Hiding your ass and telling others to fight for you. So is that what it means to be a real man? Chapter 423. Lustful Demons Fighting Style. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Agapius is already furious beyond the limit, but Lucian manages to make him feel even worse. Then he looks at the 4 angels next to him. What are you waiting for? Beat the shit out of him. Those angels are not happy to be taking orders from a person as pathetic as Agapius, but they have to obey him because that was an order from Alexa, so they don't think about complaining. 2 of them flap their wings and fly towards Lucian. As he is on Earth Realm, those 2 angels are sure they can beat him with a single blow, but they want to torture him because of how he humiliated them. Whoosh! The speed of those angels is impressive even though they are not trying their best. Almost nobody there can follow their movements, but Lucian sees everything in slow motion with his super senses. Amazing. Lust comments in Lucian's mind while she can only see the movements of those angels because of the connection with him. Her power is limited to his level power but is much improved due to his demonic energy, and even so, his senses and speed are much superior to hers. Even Lucian is surprised by how his senses are now. It is evident that his senses and reflexes are his main attributes while he is also very strong. But the advance to the Earth Realm made him much more powerful than they expected. It is not difficult for them to understand that his current power is not just because he is in the Earth Realm now, but also because he and his wives are getting more and more pleasure together. He especially started to get stronger away faster after Sophia returned to his arms and Amelia started to have sex with him. We cannot forget that Sloth also started to have pleasure with him, of course. As Lucien watches those two angels cross the barrier, he notices even before them that their bodies start to fall, or rather, to be pulled down. Ah! They get confused while they don't understand why their bodies are getting heavier and heavier. They flap their wings even harder, but no matter what they do, they continue to be pulled down by an imposing and invisible force. What? The two other Sky Realm angels notice their partners fall before they reach Lucien. They can't help thinking that he did something to them. The third Sky Realm male angel is furious and flies towards Lucien without thinking. His arrogance blinds him, and he only thinks about killing Lucien to help his friends. Be careful. The female Sky Realm angel also flies towards Lucien, but she is on alert because she doesn't understand what is going on. Meanwhile, on the floating ship, Eve is focused on those two falling angels. Blood drips from her nose as Sophia begins to channel life mana on her. Let's go. Eve speaks as she flies towards those angels and continues to use her ability on them. Pride flies next to Eve while preparing to summon her soul weapon. Donna nods to Wrath, and Amelia signals to Envy as they jump after them. Sophia flies after Eve on her floating pillow while Sloth returns to her soul. Both of them begin to use their abilities to make those two angels think they're fine and stop resisting Eve's ability. Daisy also flies, but she heads towards Lucien while Astrid, Arya, and Ella follow her. The mature vampire undoes the floating stone ship to focus all her mana in the combat, and because the last girl there is Helene, and she can fly too. Everything happens very fast, and as soon as those Sky Realm angels get close to Lucien, they attack him from both sides. Clang clang, two loud metallic sounds echo for miles as Lucien blocks the female angel's sword with the ghost lady, and the male angel's spear is blocked by a big stone gauntlet created by Daisy around her arm. While Lucien uses a lot of demonic energy to boost his strength and keep holding that strong angel, Daisy is also doing her best, but she ends up being pushed back, and her back touches Lucien's back. This is quite different from the last time. He comments while smiling. Daisy knows what he's talking about. The first time they met, she was in trouble, and he saved her. And now, a few days later, they are side by side, fighting as partners. I like more this way. She smiles too. While Daisy continues to be pushed back by the spear angel, Arya and Ella quickly get there and use their cry ability to attack the two angels. The first thing that those angels feel is contempt. How can these trash girls think they can hurt us? Although the ability of the Harpy mother-daughter pair is incredible, they are still in the mortal realm while those angels are almost in the immortal realm. They shouldn't feel anything even if Arya and Ella try their best, but strange energy in those sound waves, specifically the mix of demonic energies that Lucien gave them, makes their attacks break the defenses of those angels and affect their heads. Those sound halves do not damage the bodies of those angels, but they hinder all their senses, leaving them confused. At that moment, Daisy and Lucien start to push the angels backward as they are losing concentration. Hiya! Then Astrid flies towards the spear angel, already attacking with her black steel gauntlets. Again, that angel shouldn't fear someone from the mortal realm, but he can Astrid's true claws, and their spikes seem to have a strange poison, which also has a mix of demonic energies. Damn! That male angel is worried about not understanding the true power of those women and flaps his wings, flying backward to avoid Astrid's attack. As soon as Daisy gets rid of that angel, she quickly turns around and attacks the female angel with her stone fist. Whoosh, she moves very quickly, but that angel was already preparing to retreat and manages to avoid that attack by flying back. Lucien praises his girls mentally while smiling at Daisy. Do you want to switch opponents? I don't think so. The mature vampire makes a thoughtful expression and then starts to blush. You have an advantage against women because of your Charm. He can't help but smile, not because of her words but because he loves her cute expression. If that's the case, then you have an advantage against men too. Daisy knows that Lucien is just being nice to her and encouraging her. Still, she can't help but think inappropriate things. Was that a flirt? No way. Focus, Daisy. This is not the time for flirting. No. Damn. Lucien doesn't have time to enjoy Daisy's adorable expressions as he notices those two angels firing light attacks towards them. He acts instinctively and holds her around the waist before flying quickly upward, causing those light rays to collide in the air. Shit. Daisy looks at that explosion of light as she blames herself for being distracted. However, in the meantime, she doesn't realize that she is also hugging Lucien so tightly. Are you okay? He asks. She turns her face to answer, and their slight lips rub on each other. That good feeling lasts for only a second or less, but it makes waves of pleasure run through Daisy's body. Yeah. She quickly flies backward while making a flushed and sorry expression. I just lost concentration for a second. Then focus again. He comments and flies towards the female angel while materializing his red katana. Then he starts to fight her using dual blades. Daisy refocuses on the spear angel and starts firing stone spears at him while Arya and Ella attack him with sound waves, and Astrid waits for a chance to attack with her claws. That fight should be easy for that angel. While the vampire is halfway through the sky realm, the other girls are just in the mortal realm. But those women are strangely boosted, especially the weaker ones. The spear angel is unable to do anything while he tries to dodge those attacks. In fact, the demonic energy is especially effective against the angel's light energy, which comes from their faith in the gods. And in addition to the mix of energies that Lucien gave the girls, they are also boosted by Pride and Eve's aura. While the spear angel is clearly having trouble defending himself against the girls, the female angel has no advantage over Lucien. She is one of the most powerful people in her entire race, and her sword skills are praised even by Alexa Crassus, Chia's second strongest swordsman. Also, she has a wonderful longsword, made with the best materials that the Crassus house can afford. Still, no matter what moves she makes, Lucien manages to block them. His sword skills seem no less impressive than hers. In fact, he seems to be so skilled even using two blades at the same time. One seems to be a cursed weapon with evil energy while the other is a beautiful soul weapon, full of demonic energy, both fatal to an angel. Whoosh clang, whoosh clang, their blades continue to create metallic sounds as they move faster and faster. The female angel already understood that she can't be faster than him, so she uses her light mana to boost her strength and try to force him to block an attack directly. Bam clang, then he blocks her long sword using his two blades. He can see what she wants to do and doesn't back down or avoid her blade, letting her push him forward. As they are flying in the open sky, she cannot force him against a wall or anything, so, to hurt him, she will have to move her sword or break his ones. As she pushes him back, Lucien smiles provocatively at her. This doesn't seem to be working. Shut up. She shouts. Then she makes a thoughtful expression. Stupid demon. Why are you so fast? Ha ha ha. He starts to laugh. Do you want me to keep silent or answer your questions? I can't both at the same time. She gets even more furious and uses as much light energy as possible to boost her strength and speed. Then she stops holding the sword with both hands and uses her free hand to attack Lucien. He overestimates her speed, and she manages to hit his chest, tearing off part of the demonic energy armor he materialized. Still, he manages to fly backward, preventing her nails from cutting her body. While the female angel seems to need a few seconds to catch her breath after forcing her body beyond her limits, Lucien smiles at her. You almost really hurt me. He comments in a teasing way. Then he realizes that she is not well. Hey. Do you need a break? "You're stinking demon!" she screams as she points her sword at him. She looks really furious, but Lucien notices a familiar sparkle in her eyes when she looks at his damaged armor, or rather his chest. Oh! Lucien continues to smile as he dematerializes the upper part of his armor, leaving his chest completely naked. Whoosh, then he flies towards her while attacking with both his blades. But she blocks his attack while being pushed back. Lucien looks into her eyes. "You don't seem to really want to fight me. What do you know about me, stupid demon?" she asks, clearly in a furious tone. "I don't know you, but I understand well about a woman's needs." He speaks as he continues to push her back. She cannot control her focus now and is on the defensive now. "I don't know what you're talking about." She speaks in a slightly embarrassed tone. "I just want to torture a dirty demon like you to amuse me." He makes a seductive expression that can make any woman wet. "How about we do something else? Why fight when we can make love?" "What the hell?" The female angel gets extremely confused as her body starts to get warmer. Of course, that is due to his demonic energy entering her body while he distracts her mind. Daisy notices that Angel's flushed expression as Lucien tries to approach their faces. She doesn't know why, but she gets extremely upset. "Why are you seducing her? This is no time for this type of thing. You are really a stupid devil." Chapter 424. Hard Fall. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A while ago. As soon as Agapius sent the Sky Realm angels to attack Lucien, he expected to see him being brutally beaten in front of everyone, making his women suffer and washing away the humiliation he suffered. But after two of those angels mysteriously started to fall, a vampire appeared and started to help Lucien fight the other two angels. Even seeing Lucien and Daisy fight on equal terms with those angels, Agapius doesn't believe that people from lower realms can defeat people from higher realms, so the only reason for that is that Lucien and his woman are hiding their real strength in some way. Agapius is afraid, but he still trusts the power of his arm. If he can defeat Lucien's troops, only he and his women will not be able to fight them all. Then he points his silver sword at Lucien's troops and wives on the ground. "Attack now. Kill them all." The angel army advances through the barrier towards Lucien's troops. Although they are mostly in the mortal realm, they have good equipment and combat training, so they are very confident of winning that battle. Above them, winged angels fly, all in the earth realm. But there is none of them in the sky realm, as Melita brought the strongest warriors from the Corvus house with her previously. Those 4 sky realm angels are Alexa's servants. Lucien's wives stand in front of Lucien's troops, leading them. They are clearly the strongest people there, so they quickly become the targets of dozens of winged angels. As the army of angels advances towards Lucien's girls, his sisters, and the sins fly towards the 2 sky realm angels falling from the sky while under the effects of Eve's mysterious ability and Sophia's illusions. Both of those abilities require the sisters great effort normally, but the situation is even more complicated now, as the general power of those angels is very high. So, Sophia won't be able to keep them in an illusion for long, while Eve won't be able to keep their bodies that heavy for long either. Pride. Eve exclaims in Pride's mind, clearly asking her to act now. She flies down beside Eve and smiles arrogantly, as always. "I didn't want to have to show you my greatest treasure anytime soon. But it can't be helped." While those 2 angels are vulnerable, Pride approaches them, and her hands begin to glow white. That glow is so pure and radiant that it makes even the angel's light magic seems impure. She is upset to have to summon her soul weapon to any enemy she does not deem worthy, as the soul weapon is someone's pure soul manifestation, and she doesn't think anyone deserves to see that part of her. But with no choice now, Pride materializes a beautiful shiny white weapon. That glow blinds almost everyone who looks at it directly, but Eve can clearly see a big white scythe in Pride's hands. The moment Eve sees that white scythe, she feels her demonic energy and that of Pride falling dramatically. It is obvious that it is due to that light that seems to want to blind everyone in Argeron. Damn. Go easy. Eve talks to Pride mentally. Easy. She quickly asks back. I never go easy. This queen only makes a serious attack. My opponents don't deserve more than that. And after that, I will run out of demonic energy. Pride seems to act that way on purpose, but that is not exactly true. When she was fighting Lucien, and then at his side, she saw that as fun and not serious combat. But now she really needs to defeat strong opponents, and if she doesn't kill her target in the first attack, that angel will come out of Sophia and Sloth's illusion, and someone in Lucien's group may end up hurt. If that happens, she can imagine Lucien getting furious and coming up to her to ask what happened, so she would have to say that she couldn't kill that stupid angel quickly, causing her to lose her face. That is the kind of thinking that Pride always has when fighting seriously. And that is why she can never go easy. On the contrary, she always does her best so that everyone can see how amazing she is. Hiya! She swings her white scythe towards one of those angels while so much light comes out of her that she looks like a real star. The pressure of her aura is so dense and powerful now that everyone on the battlefield stops to look up at the sky and is blinded by her radiance. While almost everyone feels like kneeling and praising her, Lucien also looks at Pride, but he just smiles while finding that very exciting. At that time, in a significant area around Pride, nothing impure or unworthy can withstand her imposing energy, including Sophia and Sloth's illusions and Eve's gravity ability. For a second or less, those two angels open their eyes and see a powerful light that quickly blinds them. At the same time, they feel brutal energy making them feel poor, weak, mediocre, smaller than an ant in front of the biggest dragon of all. Even if they had a lot of time to act, they would not be able to do anything because their bodies refuse to act in the face of such a dominant force. What they feel is not fear but infinite respect for a being who is infinitely superior to them. The white scythe of Pride cuts the air, or rather, cuts to the reality of that dimension, without affecting the wind. Then that shiny blade reaches one of the angels and cuts half of his body, but the blood does not fly, or rather, her weapon seems to be etheric because it crosses the body of that angel without causing any apparent injuries to him. Ha! That angel is confused. I'm sure I saw that blade cross. But I don't feel. He doesn't feel anything wrong with his body, but then he realizes that the powerful energy he felt just ago is now inside his body. He should be happy with that, but how could a small ant bear the burden of such monstrous power? He quickly panics. No, 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 no. Then his belly and limbs start to crazily swell as his eyes start to turn white and bleed. In fact, blood starts to come out of all the holes in his body, and his skin starts to burn. Blowing up. He is exploding. Everyone thinks, and they are right. That angel's body cannot handle Pride's brutal power, and his body is exploding. Boom! That massive power destroys his body, throwing blood, guts, and bones everywhere, especially over the other Sky Realm angel next to him. That angel is terrified as he is thrown back several meters due to a wave of force generated by the explosion of his friend's body. While everyone is really impressed by that attack, Pride smiles proudly, of course. Her white side disappears while her body also begins to fade as she used a lot of demonic energy to do that. I will use the rest of my energy to continue boosting his women. She speaks to Eve mentally. Good work, you did that amazingly. Eve praises Pride. Eve's praise and respect are important to Pride, just as she is also pleased that everyone on that battlefield, angels or people of other races, respects her very much now. But before her body disappears completely and she returns to Eve's soul, Pride sees Lucien smiling at her while his eyes sparkle with admiration. At that moment, Pride feels as good as a normal woman having an orgasm. He realizes that his admiration is much more important than that of other people. And she wants to impress him a lot more to feel even better. This queen is just starting. She thinks as she blinks at Lucian and then goes back to Eve's soul. Eve quickly returns to using her ability on the other Sky Realm angel, causing him to fall again, but Sophia can't get him back into her illusion as he is very impressed with Pride's power and she is also focused on healing Eve. At that moment, Amelia, Donna, Wrath, and Envy take action. The Sins fly towards that angel while Donna falls towards him, already attacking with her great red axe. And Amelia teleports in the air behind him and attacks with her double white swords. Although Amelia is in the middle stages of the Earth realm, she is boosted for several reasons, yet, she is very powerful due to the mix of demonic energies that Lucian gave her. Her soul weapons, infused with demonic energies, easily cut that angel's back, severely injuring one of his wings. His blood flies as he cries out in pain. Bam Wrath appears next to him and hits him with her heavy warhammer, causing him to be thrown to the side like a rag doll while still being pulled down due to Eve's ability. Then Envy appears on his other side and finishes cutting his wing off by hitting him in the same spot that Amelia attacked before. He screams even more as one of his wings falls apart from his body. Ha! Then Donna approaches him as she swings her axe vertically, attacking him with brutal force. That attack seems to make even the air tremble and makes that angel sure that he is dead. Donna's axe hits that angel's belly, but surprisingly, its blade doesn't cut his body and just pushes further down, leaving her frustrated. As Amelia and Envy do not lose focus and continue to attack that angel while Eve is almost at the limit of her strength, Donna is confused and upset. Hey! What's wrong with you? Wrath speaks in her mind. You didn't think we would really have the strength to hurt someone from the late Sky Realm, right? But Amelia. Donna can't help feeling bad. The fact that Lucian is so strong has already reduced her usefulness as an older sister, but if her young sisters also become stronger than her, she will not be able to protect them but will need their protection. Wrath starts to laugh. They are fucking, you know. I hate to say it, but your brother is really impressive. He and Lust are doing excellent work. While falling from the sky, because she doesn't know how to fly, of course, Donna smiles at Wrath while she stops thinking negatively. So we have to do good work too. Ha ha ha. Wrath likes Donna more and more. For sure. After falling for many seconds, they are almost on the ground. Donna tilts her body to get an even higher speed and heads towards that angel while she prepares her great axe. Wrath materializes her body beside her, and both attack at the same time. That angel, already badly hurt by the joint attacks of Amelia and Envy, is unable to do anything and is hit hard by those brutal blows. Bam boom, his body hits the ground hard, creating a crater in the middle of the battlefield between the angel army and Lucian's girls. The gravity around that angel seems to change suddenly, and his body is pushed upwards, floating for a second or less. At that moment, a figure descends from the sky at a crazily high speed. It's Eve. Hiya! She points her soul weapon, the dark spiked greatsword, at the chest of that angel and spikes it, using all her strength and the impulse generated by the high fall. Bam crack, the dark blade brutally penetrates that angel's chest, tearing and killing him on the spot, also creating another wave of force that throws dirt and dust everywhere. The angels stop running and flying towards Lucian's girls while they are paralyzed with fear. Those women are terrifying, and the confidence they had just ago is gone. In the sky, still blocking that female angel's sword, Lucian smiles at her. Do you see what happens to you guys when you do war and not love? Chapter 425. A real bargain with the devil. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. While seeing two of her friends being killed by Pride and Lucian's sisters, the Sky Realm female angel is shocked. She can't believe she just saw two Sky Realm peak angels being defeated so easily. These demons. They are dangerous. She realizes that they underestimated Lucian's group, and now she is sure that not even those 7,000 angels of the mortal realm and 300 angels above the earth realm can defeat him and his arm. Wait. She talks to Lucien as he continues to push her through the air. Lucien stops forcing his two swords forward but still doesn't back down or give her a chance to escape. Then he smiles. What? You don't want to fight anymore? She makes a thoughtful expression. Did you spoke seriously about not wanting to fight, but... You know. Oh, are you talking about that, hee. He makes a lewd expression. Yeah, I can think of doing others things with you besides fighting. Agapius watches their fight while sending Earth Realm's angels to attack Lucien, but they are very afraid to get involved in a Sky Realm people fight, especially when they are almost in the Immortal Realm, and Lucien is clearly at such a level to be able to fight in the same level that female angel. What are you doing, Genevieve? Kill this dirty demon right now. Agapius shouts at that Sky Realm female angel. While still crossing swords with Lucien, Genevieve looks at Agapius. She wants to follow Alexa's orders and obey him, but the situation is really bad, and he will not protect her as her real master would do. This is her fault. Alexa left me in the care of this idiot, and now I'm going to die, unless... Can I really trust a demon? She thinks while looking at Lucien. His expression is lewd but also loving and trustworthy, which makes Genevieve have hope. All those women trust him. They are of different races, but he doesn't seem to have an angel yet. I could be his angel. Genevieve, right. It's a good name. Lucien smiles at her. Trust me when I say I don't want to kill you. At that moment, Genevieve has to make one of the most difficult decisions in her life. She can choose to continue fighting, which will likely result in her death, and her group will also die, and no one will tell stories about her glorious death. She could try to run away too, but Lucien's group is extraordinary, and it is likely that she will start to fall mysteriously like her friends. Then she would end up dead too. Or she can trust Lucien and join his group. There are many ways it could go wrong, but one thing she is sure of is that her people would never forgive her for that, especially her master. Joining demons is the worst betrayal an angel can do. Genevieve would not trust Lucien just because he is hot as fuck, but due to the fact that she was sure she would die if she continued to fight against him, her brain went into a defensive state, and any chance of survival became more interesting than anything else. So she uses all her strength to push her sword forward. All right. I accept her offer, so lower your blades. Lucien further decreases the strength he is putting on his swords as he smiles at her. Okay, we have a deal. New edit. Yeah, we have a... She quickly stops forcing her sword forward and starts to retreat, but then she hears a noise behind her. Genevieve quickly turns and sees a red whip coming towards her neck. In a normal situation, she could avoid that, but Lust manages to catch her really off guard. Bam! She raises her hand to hold the whip, but another hand appears beside her head and holds the whip first, defending her. She looks to the side and realizes that it is Lucien, of course. Lucien looks at Lust with an inquisitive expression and talks to her mentally. What are you doing? You can't be serious about accepting that angel, right? She quickly asks back. It's okay to seduce and then torture her, but I can see that you want to make her one of your troops. Why don't you want this? She is very strong and would be a good addition to our troops. He speaks. Lust shakes her head. She's a shitty angel. Even if she is in love with you, she will still betray us as soon as she has a chance to return to her people. I thought you trusted my seduction skills. He speaks in a fake sad tone. This is not just about you. She starts to explain. The other sins will not accept her. Pride will kill her as soon as she realizes what is going on. Helena doesn't have that problem. Lucien comments, even though he knows that the situation of the fallen angel is quite different. Lust quickly responds. She is no longer an angel and in fact, she has everything to hate them, unlike this stupid angel who will remain loyal to the gods even if she starts fucking a demon. Lucien understands Lust's point of view. He also knows that she is jealous and concerned about how the other sins will react to that. But a part of him fails to attack a woman who is willing to submit to him, especially when she has done no harm to anyone in his family. Trust me. Those two words are enough for him to make lust obediently return to his soul, although she does not agree to treat an angel well. Genevieve is still in shock because of what she just saw. It is not about lust appearing of nowhere, but Lucien protecting her. We were fighting just ago. And he is my enemy. But as soon as I was about to be hurt, he protected me without thinking twice. Is he really trustworthy? She didn't understand how Lucien and lust came to an agreement, but she disappeared, and only now does Genevieve realize that Lucien has an arm around her waist. After living for a little over 1,000 years, Genevieve has many types of experience, but she never imagined what it would be like to have a demon hugging her. Actually, it's not bad. He smells good. She is shocked again because her body has no negative reaction to Lucien's touch. Lucien realizes that and begins to slowly move his hand from her waist to her hot ass while he smiles at her. Are you okay? Yeah. I'm fine. Thanks for that. It's amazing how even a confident and experienced person with over 1,000 years old can become a cute and embarrassed shy girl when she is faced with a situation completely out of her expectation, which is, of course, the devilish charm of Lucien. I'm sorry about that, my wife is a little jealous. He speaks in a friendly tone. I see. She quickly responds, unaware that what a few seconds ago was a deadly battle and now looks like a casual conversation, aside from the fact that they are still in the middle of a great battle. Lucien is happy that his charm is working on Genevieve. He thought that it would be difficult to enchant such powerful women, but it seems that he just needs to act in the right moment, and if they are in a bad situation, he will easily become their knight in shining armor. So, he starts to speak as he approaches his face with hers. Our deal is still valid, right? Genevieve realizes what Lucien wants to do, but she still chooses to play his game and lets him bring their lips closer. Yeah. I don't have to die fighting for that asshole. He's not my master. I'm glad to hear that. Genevieve. Lucien speaks slowly while his lips are just a few millimeters from touching hers. She can clearly see that he is trying to seduce her, and she could attack him now. However, his scent, especially from his mouth, is so pleasurable, just like is his touch. So she doesn't want to attack him, and neither does her body want to get away from his. Also, she loves the way he speaks her name. He seems to desire her body and sees her as a woman, unlike Agapius, who sees her as an expendable servant. No matter what the situation, a proud woman loves to be desired. So Genevieve doesn't resist Lucien's actions and lets him kiss her mouth. His lips are warm and soft, making that kiss unforgettable, even though being fast and that he was not using his tongue. Lucien continues to give quick kisses on her lips while moving his hand over her ass. Then he materializes a scabbard and puts Ghost Lady in it to be able to caress Genevieve's body with both hands. I agreed not to fight you. But I will not fight my people either. She speaks between kisses and keeps her sword in her storage ring. I get it. He responds as he continues to stroke and kisses her. Then he notices Agapius staring at them through the barrier. Agapius cannot believe that he is seeing Genevieve being corrupted in that way. After Alexa sent her and the other 3 Sky Realm angels to obey him, he tried to order her to go to his bed. However, Genevieve quickly refused him and said that she would never obey such an order. She is clearly a very proud woman, but now she looks like a tamed kitten in Lucien's arms. No matter if the numbers of Lucien's army are smaller, or his group was weaker than the angels, he was acting overconfidently from the start while his arrogance reached an incomparable level. Agapius was sure that Lucien was an idiot, but now, as hard as it is for him to admit it, Agapius can see that Lucien is the most badass guy he has ever seen, and even though he doesn't want to, part of him admires him. A real man. Those words echo in Agapius' mind as he feels respect and envy of Lucian. He can't take his eyes off his hand on Genevieve's ass while the little sick in his underwear knows he will never be like that badass devil. Do you like what you see? Lucian asks Agapius in a provocative tone as he squeezes Genevieve's ass even harder. Agapius is unable to say anything while his mind is in a mess. But his open mouth and stared eyes make it clear that he is getting excited to see Lucian and Genevieve acting that way. As she starts to moan under Lucian's caresses, he starts laughing at Agapius. I understand, really. Genevieve is a beautiful woman, so it is understandable that you get attracted to her body. But then his expression changes from a provocative smile to a fake sorry look. But I have to teach you an important lesson. A real man doesn't let other men look lustfully at his women. Your woman. Genevieve is very fond of Lucian's caresses and kisses, but she can't help but find his words very bold. Does he already consider me his woman? So much overconfidence. Agapius, on the other hand, quickly closes his mouth as he begins to tremble with fear. I didn't mean to. Lucian sighs. I'm going to have to rip your eyes out for that. No. I really didn't want to. Agapius panics while his mind stops thinking rationally. He even forgets about the powerful barrier in front of him and turns around quickly before flying away while continuing to scream desperately. Lucian starts to laugh, and Genevieve cannot help but laugh, too, as she finds Agapius's actions so pathetic. Then she looks him in the eye with a thoughtful expression. Are you going to rip out the eyes of all the men who look lustfully at me? For sure. He quickly responds before starting to kiss her again. You now belong to me, and even though you want to run away, I won't let you go. Lucian can't help but wonder how much demonic energy he can generate with a woman as strong as Genevieve, but now is not the time for that as they are still in the middle of a battle. Then he looks to the side and sees the spear angel, the one fighting Daisy while Astrid, Arya, and Ella help her. That angel has several injuries over his body, clearly caused by the stone attacks of the mature vampire, but he doesn't seem to be afraid. On the contrary, the spear angel swings his spear, breaking all attacks that Daisy throws at him while dodging the Harpy Girl's sound waves and the sneak attacks from Astrid's poisonous claws. Lucian prepares to attack that angel alongside the girls, but at that moment, the spear angel blocks a direct attack from Astrid. Her claws make a metallic sound when they come into contact with his spear's shaft, but she doesn't back down and uses her tail's stinger to pierce his neck. A mortal realm common person shouldn't be able to hurt the body of any sky realm person, but in addition to Astrid's venom having a high corrosive function, it's highly boosted by demonic energies. Then just a drop of that poison enters that angel's body, causing him a lot of pain. He screams in pain as he swings his spear all over the place. Astrid avoids those strikes by flying backward quickly. Daisy wastes no time and starts casting many stone attacks towards him while Arya and Ella also use their sound waves. But the spear angel continues to madly swing his spear and break the stone attacks while ignoring the pain in his head as the pain in his body due to Astrid's poison is worse. While continuing to act madly, the spear angel regains focus for a second and quickly takes a blue pill from his storage ring. Lucian and Daisy quickly recognize that pill. It is the same pill that they have seen other angels use to highly boost their strength and agility at the cost of severe side effects. When Neok, June's brother, took a pill like that, he exploded while fighting Lucian because his body couldn't bear the massive amount of energy that pill had. But that spear angel doesn't have this problem because his sky realm body is very tough, so he doesn't think twice about taking that pill. It will also make him suffer side effects later, but for a while, it will give him a high increase in strength and speed, as well as allowing him to ignore any non-lethal injuries. Shit. Daisy thinks aloud while failing to stop the spear angel from taking that pill. Stay out of this, Lucien speaks to Genevieve and then flies towards them quickly while holding the ghost lady, materializing his red katana as well. Lust, still jealous, makes a joke in his mind. Are you going to seduce that angel too? Chapter 426. Lethal Dance. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. As Genevieve moves away from Lucien, she sees him flying towards the spear angel. She can't help but be sad for her friend, after all, they serve the same master. However, she is not willing to die for Agapius after he showed them that he is a rotten person. Also, she doesn't want to fight Lucien as he hasn't done her any harm. Who started that battle was Agapius, and Alexa always taught her servants not to start a battle without good reason. Most angels love the gods and would not think twice about attacking demons and their allies. But Alexa does not think so. In fact, she teaches her people to be brutal to their enemies but not to attack someone because of the war of others. Also, Genevieve is part of the angels who are not happy being servants of the gods. Still, she does not want to attack other angels who have also done nothing wrong to her. She would like to kick Agapius' ass, but nothing more. So, she flies to a safe distance from the battle and waits to see how it will end, which she is almost certain to be a total victory of Lucien's group. Meanwhile, Lucien approaches the spear angel, who appears to be in a state of uncontrollable fury. Daisy fires more and more stone attacks at him just as Arya and Ella use sound waves, but everything seems ineffective. After blocking so many stone attacks with his spear and resisting the sound waves, that angel quickly removes a shiny stone from his storage ring. Then he crushes that stone and passes its shiny powder on his spear, making the blade shine brightly. Don't let him hit you with that blade. That can break through your demonic energy defenses and cut your body in half. Lust quickly explains to Lucien. All right. Lucien responds as he prepares his two swords. He knows that the spear angel is boosted by the magic pill and now has a power equivalent to the early stage of the immortal realm, so this battle will be his toughest fight so far. Furious at being attacked by various people, the spear angel uses his light mana to channel a powerful area attack. His body starts to glow, and Lucien quickly warns Arya, Ella, and Astrid to fly away from him. But mental communication is much faster than the sound of the voice, so Daisy takes a little longer to receive Lucien's warning. Also, she is nearest to the spear angel, and when she notices his attack, she quickly creates several stone barriers to defend herself. Hiya! The spear angel cries while he feels the chaotic energy of the pill boost his attack as if it had been burning his body from inside. Then waves of light energy come out of his body in all directions. That powerful attack makes even the barrier of angels tremble, let alone Daisy's stone barriers. Bam Kriak Boom. Arya, Elle, and Astrid manage to get far away from that attack in time to avoid damage, but Daisy's barriers are quickly destroyed, and she is thrown back by the light energy waves. When she feels that powerful energy touches her body, she is afraid, but at the same time, she feels demonic energies from Sophia, and especially Lucien, protecting her body from the light energy. She can't stop that attack from throwing her backward like a rag doll, but her body isn't really hurt. She tries to regain her balance while spinning in the air, but then she feels suddenly stops as strong arms hold her. Daisy. Lucien speaks in a worried tone as he embraces the mature vampire. Are you okay? Her body doesn't have any negative reaction to Lucien's touch, or rather, her body is already used to him to the point that she recognizes him just by his touch. And Daisy is not really happy with that because that is not what she wants. Well, she's not even sure what she really wants anymore. I'm fine. She says as her face blushes due to Lucien's hands being so close to touching her ass. Good. He starts to say something but notices the spear angel quickly approaching them, with his shiny spear ready and pointed to his head. Whoosh! Lucien hugs Daisy tightly and flaps his wings, using his demonic energy to boost his speed and dodge that spear. The spear angel was at an insane speed, clearly at the immortal realm level, but Lucien had no trouble avoiding his attack. Although he is very powerful for having reached the Earth realm, his demonic energy and the mixed ones are still his greatest sources of power. The angel returns, making several swift movements with his spear as Lucien continues to dodge while holding Daisy. Her mind is confused due to the incredible speed that Lucien moves, but her body is feeling very well with his tight embrace. Daisy feels being carried in someone's arms like that is unfamiliar. But she doesn't hate that feeling, the feeling of having someone protecting her. Whoosh 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 whoosh. After dodging dozens of attacks in a minute, Lucien talks to Daisy. What about some help here? This guy looks tireless. I can't concentrate when you move so fast. She tries to shot stone attacks at the angel, but she can't aim at him because Lucien has to dodge his attacks so fast. Lucien continues to dodge the spear angel's tireless attacks while thinking about something. He doesn't want Arya, Ella, and Astrid to approach that angel while he is in that state. Pride and Eve are recovering with the help of Sophia while Amelia and Donna face many Earth Realm angels alongside his other wives. So he can only count on the help of Lust, who has no high combat power now. He thinks of something and quickly speaks to her. Lust, just distract him for a second. Whoosh. As soon as the spear angel tries to attack Lucien and Daisy again, they avoid him, and Lust appears, limited to a certain distance from Lucien, and attacks the angel with her whip. Lust's whip wraps around that angel's arm, but he quickly pulls her towards him. Lucien uses that moment to release Daisy and flies towards the spear angel as she casts hundreds of stone attacks. Daisy's stone attacks hinder the vision of the spear angel, but he hears Lucien approach and then makes a vertical cut with his spear using both hands and all his strength. Waves of light energy come out of that angel's body, breaking Daisy's stone attacks in the air and creating a huge cloud of dust. In the middle of that cloud, there is Lucien, flying towards the angel, and he is swinging his spear, while Lust is pulled like a rag doll while holding her whip. Lucien uses his demonic energy to the maximum to boost his speed, but because the angel started his attack very quickly and the spear is longer than swords, he realizes that he will be hit by the angel before hitting him. But due to the impulse he used to fly towards the spear angel, Lucien cannot just stop his movement in the air. He flaps his wings forward but soon notices the angel's spear less than a meter from him into the dust cloud, coming towards him with overwhelming force. Lucien doesn't think twice about raising the ghost lady in his red katana while using a lot of demonic energy to create protective layers around him and the blades. Bam, clang, the angel's spear collides with Lucien's swords, creating a powerful force wave. Lucien's hair wildly swings as if he were in a whirlwind before he being pushed back by overwhelming force. L.rg The spear angel and Lucien are both thrown backward, also like rag dolls, due to the force generated by that collision. But unlike the angel's spear, which remains intact due to the shiny powder, both Lucien's swords are scratched on the blades. While Lust's body is destroyed and she returns to Lucien's soul, Daisy is also pushed back, but she quickly regains her balance as she was further away from the center of the collision. The mature vampire is really worried when she sees Lucien get thrown out of the dust cloud. She quickly creates a giant stone hand and catches his body in the air. Lucien! She exclaims as she jumps into the stone hand to check his situation. Upon realizing that Lucien has a vague look on his face, Daisy becomes even more concerned and begins to shake his head. Lucien! 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 After that collision, Lucien began to have visions of the Golden Gate in his soul. The more intensely he fights, the more he gets in sync with Eileen's golden naginata. But then he quickly regains focus while listening to the voices of Lust and Daisy calling out his name in concerned tones. He notices the mature vampire's charming face just a few millimeters from his and has to fight the urge to kiss her lips. Yeah. I'm fine, he smiles at Daisy and also answers Lust in his mind. Then he notices that he is in a giant stone hand and looks at Daisy with a grateful expression. Are we even again, who? She sighs in relief. I was so worried. Lucien continues to smile at Daisy, but then, he quickly moves his face towards hers. She can't help thinking that he wants to kiss her, so she quickly thinks about avoiding that kiss, but her body refuses to move. Really? She panics while feeling Lucien embrace her. However, he doesn't kiss her but flies to the side, less than a second before the giant stone hand gets destroyed by the spear angel. Whoosh boom, pieces of stone fly everywhere as Lucien again begins to dodge various attacks from the spear angel while hugging Daisy. What was I thinking? Daisy starts to blame herself again for doubting Lucien's intentions. He just wants to help me. He doesn't want to kiss me. Why? Despite that being a deadly battle where she could be killed by a single blow from that angel, Daisy cannot stop her mind from thinking about her relationship with Lucien while he continues to keep them alive. After missing hundreds of blows, the spear angel starts to get tired. His body is very stronger and faster, but he still needs the stamina to keep attacking incessantly. He stops attacking to catch his breath and looks at Lucien and Daisy with a furious expression. Damn demon and stupid vampire. Lucien stops in the air, still hugging Daisy, of course, and smiles at her. I think he's talking to us. I guess so. She laughs. The spear angel is even more furious with Lucien and Daisy because of their mocking works. He channels a ray of light energy on his shiny spear and aims at them. But Lucien quickly dodged that ray, with Daisy in his arms. He continues to fly at high speed while the spear angel cannot hit them with any attack. As Lucien continues to push his body to the limit, he feels his connection with the golden Naginata increasing more and more. She is calling me. The desire to use the Naginata grows, but he keeps thinking about the words of the mysterious woman who entered his dream. She said that Eileen's soul in the Naginata could brainwash him. But now, he doesn't seem to have any other option. Lucien knows that he has a strong disadvantage against the spear angel, and although his red katana can be remade infinitely, the ghost lady is not indestructible, so he needs the golden Naginata more than ever. Stop running around. The spear angel cries at Lucien and Daisy. Lucien stops in the air and looks at the angel as he prepares to summon the golden Naginata. Alright, if it makes you stop screaming like a child throwing a tantrum, I will stop. His words hurt that angel's ego even more as Daisy continues to hug Lucien. Her arm is around his neck while her body already thinks that is the most comfortable place she can ever be. Chapter 427. Bloody excited. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Stay at a safe distance, Lucien speaks to Daisy as he releases her. She thought she would be relieved when he stops hugging her, but as soon as their bodies separate, Daisy feels an intense sensation of loss. Lucien's fragrant natural scent continues all over her body, making her miss his body even more. I'm so sorry that I can't help more. She feels so weak as she can't really help Lucien and begins to crave more power. But Lucien tenderly smiles at her. You were great, Daisy. I couldn't do this without you. Those words make her feel better and worse at the same time. Daisy is thrilled to be helping Lucien, but she wants more. She really wants to fight alongside him as partners. Lucien looks at the spear angel again. I'm going to finish this quickly. Then he summons the golden Naginata in his hand. Its golden glow looks brighter than ever, and everyone in the angel group and Lucien's group sees that splendid light, making them feel similar to how they felt seeing the light of Pride's aura. The golden Naginata seems to be alive and wanting to put on a show as it continues to shine brightly regardless of Lucien's will, also making the glow of that angel's spear look like trash. The spear angel feels a dense aura over his body, making it difficult even for him to breathe. An instinctive fear begins to grow inside his soul while he can see that Naginata is an incredible weapon and compared to the 8 legendary weapons of the superior worlds. And in fact, it is. Eileen's golden Naginata is second in the rank of the 8 legendary weapons. And even without knowing that, the spear angel wants it more than anything he's ever wanted before. This spear. I like it. I'll get it from your corpse. The spear angel speaks before flying towards Lucien. Whoosh! Lucien smiles and flies forward with no intention of dodging spear angel's attacks. The angel swings his spear down from right to left, while Lucien swings the golden naginata up from left to right, and both weapons' blades collide in front of them. Bam clang! An explosive wave of force is generated by that collision, followed by a loud metallic sound. However, Lucien and the spear angel do not move an inch as they continue to force their weapons forward. It is not a spear, Lucien comments while not realizing that he is smiling, excited by the combat. The spear angel is even more furious because Lucien is blocking his attack even though he is using all his strength and because he is doing it while smiling. I'll kill you. The spear angel cries and forces his spear even further. Lucien is using his demonic energies to the fullest, which quickly consumes his energies mixes, so he knows he can't keep competing in force with that angel. Then he starts to retreat while sliding his naginata to the side. The spear angel thinks he's breaking Lucien's defenses, but by the time he realizes his mistake, it's already too late. As the spear angel is pushing all his forces forward, as soon as Lucien slides his naginata, his spear moves keep forward, and he tries to cut his body. But Lucien flaps his wings and rotates his body in the air. The spear angel thinks Lucien will try to escape, but he spins quickly and hits its pommel on the angel's face. Bam! That angel's blood and teeth fly while another wave of force is generated by that brutal attack. He doesn't feel pain due to the pill he took, but his body is thrown back while he gets even angrier. Lucien sees the opportunity to end that fight by attacking quickly now as his speed is still higher than that of the spear angel. But he doesn't attack because he doesn't want to end that exciting fight so fast. Then he spins the golden naginata in his hand while looking at that angel with a provocative smile. Do you need a break? Hiya! The angel cries and flies towards Lucien, swinging his spear furiously. Bam clang! Bam clang! Bam clang! Bam clang! Lucien does not avoid but deflects the blows with his naginata, generating a series of loud metallic sounds as he is pushed back by the massive force of that angel. But he keeps smiling as he moves his naginata at incredible speed, making slight cuts on the spear angel's body each time he deflects one of his strikes. However, the spear angel doesn't seem to care about those cuts even when his clothes and wings start to turn red with his blood. He continues to madly attack Lucien as they both begin to fly faster and faster. Bam! Lucien makes another incredibly fast move and kicks the spear angel in the belly after dodging one of his attacks. The angel is thrown back several meters but quickly attacks Lucien again, ignoring any pain or injury. This time, Lucien not only deflects the angel's blows but also counterattacks with his naginata. He and the angel start exchanging strikes faster and faster, and not even Daisy can see the blades of their weapons anymore but just hear the metallic sounds that echo across the battlefield. The spear angel still has a strength advantage over Lucien, but he starts to fly faster and faster, which makes that advantage not so significant. On the contrary, while they exchange blows flying, Lucien has more advantage due to his superior agility. In fact, every time Lucien exchanges a blow with the spear angel using his naginata, he feels more powerful, faster, and more excited. Also, he feels the connection with the naginata and the golden gates in his soul improving. As they continue to exchange blows, Lucien begins to fly down, taking the spear angel to fight above the battle that is taking place on the ground. While Lucien's troops and wives fight the angel army, they hear the metallic sounds closer and see Lucien and the spear angel fly very close to the ground. The waves of force generated by their attacks make other people tremble, and everyone gets fascinated. Lucien flies across the whole battlefield while fighting the spear angel. He hasn't suffered any injuries yet but has already hit dozens of attacks on the angel, who continues to ignore any pain and injury. While fighting, Lucien also pays attention to his girls fighting. His troops are trying their best to fight in sync, and they seem to be easily slaughtering the mortal realm angels while none of them have suffered severe injuries yet. Arya, Ella, Astrid, and Daisy also begin to fight the other angels as he fights the spear angel. Everyone is fighting while only 3 people watch the fight from afar. Genevieve, Helena, and the terrified Agapius. Bedouin. The spear angel notes that Lucian is checking his troops while fighting him, which makes him even angrier, but no matter what he does, his spear never touches Lucian's body. He tries light attacks of various types, but Lucian seems to predict his movements, and even when he blocks his attacks, he can't get through that incredible Naginata. He starts to try less predictable movements, that is, he starts to move even more madly, which opens his guard more and more. Lucian does not miss any opportunity and hits the spear angel in the belly with his Naginata's blade, piercing his body and making his guts fall from the sky. Heh! Lucian makes a mocking sound and then pushes his Naginata aside, further opening the cut in the spear angel's belly. Then he quickly spins the Naginata and hits its pommel on the angel's head, throwing him towards the ground. Whoosh boom! The spear angel falls in the middle of the battlefield, creating a crater on the ground and a cloud of dust. That scares the other angels and makes Lucian's troops, just like Donna, smile. Still, even severely wounded, the spear angel seems to feel no pain and quickly tries to get up and fly towards Lucian. Whoosh bam! But Lucian descends from the sky like a shooting star and stomps on the spear angel's belly, pushing his body further into the earth and increasing that crater. While the dust prevents everyone from seeing clearly, the spear angel sees a golden light approaching his face. He tries to raise his spear to defend himself, but Lucian is stepping on it. Am I dead? The spear angel wonders, but then a wave of wind hurts his face and drives that dust away from his body, allowing him to see the blade of the golden Naginata spiked on the ground, at less than an inch of his head. Despite being able to ignore the pain in his body, the spear angel can no longer bear the pain in his heart due to the humiliations he is suffering. And seeing the provocative smile on Lucian's face, the spear angel feels his heart bleed. If you beg, I can spare you, Lucian speaks in a mocking tone. Devil! The spear angel thinks, as do all the other angels watching that scene. But Lucian's troops are unable to contain their proud and excited smiles as they watch their beloved master destroy that strong angel. Sophia, Amelia, Sloth, and Envy also smile as they look at Lucian with loving expressions. Wrath and Donna even stop fighting to watch that scene. Eve smiles too, while inside her soul, pride feels like laughing. Lucian is not only beating the shit out of that angel but destroying any self-respect he and the other angels have, which makes her very pleased. But the spear angel is not yet defeated. Even while his blood leaks from dozens of wounds in his body and there are more of his guts on the ground than inside his belly, he still tries to fight. You. He tries to say something. But Lucian steps on his face, brutally pressing his head into the ground. He spent more than half of his demonic energies since the beginning of that battle, but he has already regenerated most of that amount due to how pleasurable it is for him. What did you say? Lucian speaks as he smiles at his girls. I didn't hear you, can you speak that again? While Genevieve and Helena feel sorry for the spear angel, the other angels are furious with Lucian. Most of them are also very afraid, but some of them, the strongest of the Earth realm, fly towards him. Lucian notices 10 Earth realm angels approaching him at the same time. Lust quickly tells him that they are between the 7th and 9th layers of Earth realm, that is, they are not weak. But at that moment, while Lucian focuses his senses to the fullest, he holds the golden Naginata tightly and feels more powerful than ever. For him, time seems to be in slow motion. He sees the Earth realm angels a few feet away from him, and then he swings the golden Naginata, starting a horizontal cut. He starts the strike using one hand and then holds the Naginata's shaft with both hands and focuses on it as much demonic energy as he can, using all his forces. Whoosh! The Naginata's blade cuts through the wind and even small grains of sand in the air before reaching the first Earth realm angel. Then that sharp blade cuts through that angel's skin, flesh, bones, organs, and guts, splitting his body in half while his blood splashes out of him. Still, The Naginata doesn't stop, and after using less than a second to cut that angel in two halves, Lucian destroys another angel and then another, cutting those 10 angels in one single movement before either of them hits an attack on him. Splash! When the blood and guts of the first angel reach the ground, the Naginata crosses the 10th one, and then Lucian gets completely covered in angel blood. He licks the blood on his lips, and the golden Naginata shine brightly as blood drips over its blade. Chapter 428. Hunger for Enemies. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. What is a person's real power? Well, that's a set of things like their power level, race, special abilities, and skills. Those points are variable, but what most impacts during combats is the power level. People with significant differences in their power levels will have a very fast fight, while people with similar power levels will have a long and balanced fight. But after seeing Lucian, a likely demon, theoretically from the Earth realm, not only fight equally with someone from the late stages of the Sky realm but also beat him up, he still kills, or rather, destroys, 10 Earth realm angels with a single strike, while also stepping on the head of that Sky realm angel. That scene is not only brutal but also impossible. The other angels, both from the mortal and the Earth realms, go into shock and get terrified. What is he? Many of them wonder. A monster. He can only be a monster. One of the strongest angels among them speaks while his legs are shaking. They were being killed by Lucian's troops and wives, but seeing him massacre their people like that is crazy. There are limits even in a deadly battle, and the angels are not willing to suffer the same fate as those 10 unfortunates who not even understood how they died. While that scene is very brutal for the angels, Lucian's troops and wives see nothing unusual. For them, it is quite normal to see their beloved master crush his enemies down like meat paste. They still think he doesn't lose his charm even when covered in blood. For his sisters, that is not unusual either. They were rated by Michael to be emotionless weapons, and even though they have many emotions, their pity for their enemies is not one of them. They and the Sins are very happy that Lucian is so strong. However, Donna can't help but have pessimistic thoughts again. After seeing how Amelia and Sophia are getting more powerful so quickly, and now that incredible show of power of Lucian, she feels that maybe trying harder won't be enough to don't stay behind them. Donna never wanted to be as strong as Eve, she just wanted to protect her younger siblings. But now, they look so strong that they no longer need her protection. The desire to get stronger, especially as strong as Lucian, grows more and more in her heart. And wrath, you can feel that. Desire is not exactly the feeling she wants her host to feel, but that seems like a good opportunity for them to get stronger. If you want to get stronger faster, you know what you have to do. Wrath speaks in Donna's mind. He helps more than 2,000 women he has recently met to become stronger, so it is obvious that he would not deny the help to his beloved older sister. I can't. Donna responds. I want to protect him. But how could I do that depending on his power? What kind of older sister would I be? I can't say how it will affect your relationship. Wrath responds honestly. But if you don't do it, you will remain in the same place you are now. Watching him fight the strongest enemies while you only deal with weak troops. She continues. Not only that, but you will also see other strong women fighting alongside him while you will have to be protected by them. But if you can get stronger, even using his help, you will always be by his side, fighting in that beautiful way that he does now. As much as Donna doesn't want to need help from her younger brother to remain a trusted older sister, she knows that Wrath's words make sense. Okay. She responds in a timid tone while looking at Lucian. I will talk to him, but not now. I will do that when we have a good opportunity. Do as you wish. Wrath comments while also looking at Lucian. She begins to understand why Pride seems to like him that much. And Lucian looks at the army of angels in front of him. The blood of those 10 Earth Realm angels runs down his body and falls on the body of the Spear Angel, who continues to struggle to get up. Due to the magic pill that the spear angel took, he can still fight by ignoring his injuries. But his mind is in a mess, which prevents him from using all his strength. He should be a leader for his people and be beating Lucian up, but he is on the ground while his opponent, a young Earth Realm demon, continues to humiliate him. Even though he is furious, the spear angel is sorrowful and depressed to the point that he wants to die. The spear angel is shocked by Lucian's strength, but he is not as terrified as the other angels. And Lucian realizes that, so he licks the blood on his lips and points the golden naginata at them. Come on. Attack me with everything you have. He shouts in an excited tone. But no angel takes a step forward. In fact, they start to walk back and run away. They could fight Lucian's army, but he is a terrifying monster. Lucian's troops start laughing when they see the angels running away, but he is a little disappointed. The battle had just begun and is already over, which is not cool. He begins to regret having used his whole potential so quickly. He was so excited about a fight where he could go with everything he has, and it ended up being really fast. Damn. He curses and then removes his foot from the spear angel and kicks him away. You are useless. Lucian is really frustrated by not having an opponent worthy of pushing him to his real limit, so he materializes his red katana, swings it towards the other angels with all his strength. Push! The katana's blade glows brightly as it cuts through the air with overwhelming force, creating a powerful wind full of demonic energy. That powerful blade of wind flies towards the angels with incredible speed, and as soon as it hits the first angel, it cuts her body in half in less than a second before continuing forward, cutting several other angels and killing them on the spot. 10, 20, 50, 100, 200. That wind kills almost 1,000 angels from the mortal realm and dozens of Earth Realm ones, yet, it still doesn't seem to be stopping. That attack doesn't only shock the angels, but even Lucian's group is left with their mouths open. Eve has a proud smile on her face while Pride even materializes her body again to see that massacre with her own eyes. But then a bright white light appears in front of that wind and blocks it, just because it has lost most of its strength after passing through so many angels. Still, that attack was a success, and Lucian's troops begin to celebrate and praise their master, but he makes a strange expression while looking at the person who blocked his wind. Flapping her dark wings in the air, Helene looks at Lucian while holding a grey sword and shield. It is enough. Helena. Donna shouts at her new friend while she doesn't understand why she is defending the angels. After all, they were the ones who started the battle trying to attack Lucian. Lady Helena. Genevieve, who is a mile away from there, cannot believe who she is seeing. Lucian, still covered in blood, smiles provocatively at Helena. Who are you to tell me when it is enough? She flies towards him. I am someone who would not be alive if it were not for the help of the master of those angels. The one with the shining armor. Lucian was sure that Agapius was the leader of those angels, but now he is confused. Helena lands in front of Lucian and shakes her head. No. The old Lord Corvus. I think that boy is the new Lord Corvus, so I think my friend is dead. Then she looks at him with an imploring expression. I didn't want to get into this because they attacked first, but I stand still and watch you massacring my old friend's people like that. What if I don't stop? Are you going to stop me? Lucian asks. He cannot control his desire to continue fighting. Brother. Donna approaches him and speaks in an imploring tone. She is our ally. We don't need such allies. Pride comments while also approaching Lucian. Then she looks him in the eye. We should kill them all and send a message to the rest of their people about what their future will be like. Lucian holds the golden naginata tightly while looking at the fleeing angels. They don't look like soldiers anymore, they are just terrified people. Killing them would be equivalent to killing defenseless animals. He still wants to fight and kill his enemies, but those angels did not attack him directly. They were following the orders of their leader, the man who really deserves to be killed. But on the other hand, there is Helena, who Lucien does not yet know what she means to him. She was honest in telling what she knew about the mysterious woman and became friends with Donna, so everything is complicated now. Lucien feels a strange headache as he just wants to continue fighting and killing his enemies. Fighting is not complicated, dealing with people is. Lucy. He hears Eve's sweet voice and feels her taps his shoulder. Is everything okay? We don't really need to kill them. He looks at the golden Naginata and realizes that his emotions are getting out of control. That intense desire to fight does not seem to belong to him. Eileen. He thinks as he sees more visions of the Golden Gates. Lucien. He hears a soft voice and thinks it's Alien talking to him, but then he realizes that it's Helena, still looking at him with an imploring expression while Donna is beside her. All right. He nods and prepares to dematerialize the Golden Naginata. But then he hears a noise behind him and realizes that the Spear Angel got up and started flying towards him. Ha-ya! The Spear Angel cries as he launches a powerful punch, with all his remaining forces towards Lucien. His body glows with light energy, blinding almost everyone around. Heh! Lucien smiles as the Golden Naginata shines again. Then he raises his left arm, and his skin begins to petrify while Rose's earth energy arouses inside his body. The Spear Angel is flying at a very high speed, and even Eve doesn't notice his movements, so he quickly reaches Lucien's back, but he turns around and blocks the Angel's fist with his stone fist. The collision of Lucien's stone fist and Angel's fist creates a powerful force wave that only throws the Angel back while his arm is completely broken. BL.net Lucien does not feel any pain due to the arm having turned to stone momentarily. Then, while the Angel is still less than a meter from him, he quickly attacked with the Golden Naginata and pierced that Angel's chest. Blood flies through the open hole in the Spear Angel's back while Lucien's Naginata destroys its way through his body, killing him instantly. Then Lucien quickly removes the Golden Naginata from the Angel's body, and he falls to the ground. Lucien swings the Naginata to remove the blood from its blade and then notices that his hand is no longer his but a familiar female hand. My queen. He hears an unknown voice coming from behind him and realizes that he is no longer in Argyrum. He is now reliving Eileen's memories again.